No, I know. But I just want to know who actually facilitated. Again, honorable colleagues, we have students of America International School of Abuja. They are also here to observe our proceedings. You are most welcome. Please, members, can we appreciate them? They are welcome. Please sit down. I have a letter from Honorable Ari Mohammed Abdul Mumin, member representing Nasarawa Toto Federal Constituency of Nasarawa State. And this, the message is on notification of date. With your kind permission, I will read this later. It is with gratitude and total submission to the will of Allah that I announce the demise of His Royal Highness, Alhaji Dr. Halilu Bala Usman, the Osu Ajiri of Oduge Chiefdom, and former Deputy Governor of Plateau State. Late Alhaji Dr. Halilu Bala Usman, Osu Ajiri, was a first-class chief. He was born on the 16th January 1945 and died on 25th of May 2025 at his residence in Lafia, the state capital of Nasarawa State. May Allah in His infinite mercy grant him Jannatul Firdaus and grant the family and the entire chiefdom the fortitude to bear this loss. Signed, Honorable Ari Mohammed Abdul Mumin. Honorable colleagues, please shall we rise for a minute silence in honor of this illustrious son of Nasarawa. May his soul rest in peace. On a very happy note, honorable colleagues, I received a letter from Honorable Akimbaso Festus Olaruwaju, the Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Aviation, and member representing Idare/Ifitore Federal Constituency of Ondo State. And his message is on notice of the campaign from PDP to All Progressive Congress. With the kind permission of the minority leader, I will read the letter. Thank you for the permission. Mr. Speaker, I hereby wish to inform you and notify the House that I have decided to decamp to the ruling party, All Progressive Congress, APC, and align myself with the party's ideology and the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President. This is due to internal conflicts within my former party and my desire to position my constituents for the great benefits of Mr. President's renewed hope government. Please accept the assurances of my esteemed regard as we cooperate together to develop the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Signed, Honorable Akimbaso Festus Olaruwaju. Honorable Festus, are you around? Honorable colleagues, both opposition and majority, please can you appreciate this gentleman? Honorable Ali Jesse, Honorable George, our newest member of APC, he will come and say hello to you, and I hope you will congratulate him in the spirit of fairness and equity, because we believe that you people will be on their way sooner or later.
I hope you will be granted automatic ticket.
have to go to minority first before shaking hands. Make it the hungry them.
Honorable Alejisi, you are directed to go back to your seat. Please go back to your seat. Please go and shake Honorable Alejisi. Please extend your handshake to him. Honorable Festus, Alejisi is back to his seat. So go and give him a handshake, please. Any member with a petition?
Point of order.
Leader, what point of order again?
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, even at the risk of sounding like a broken drum, I will still rise to draw our attention to Section 68(1)(g) of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, particular interest is of this morning, the letter read this morning. My dear colleagues, if you had listened to that letter, you will understand that our colleague used singular noun all through. I, not his constituents, not the people he's representing. It's a personal decision. He's on a frolic of his own. Our prayer is that APC should not treat him in the APC way. However, we will pray that this House begins to enforce the provisions of Section 68(1)(g). Mr. Speaker, I so move, sir.
Thank you, Leader. Your observation is noted. Thank you. Any member with a petition? Any petition? No? Yes, my dear brother.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Speaker, and very revered members of the Hallowed Chamber. My name is Femi Bamishile, PhD, representing the very good people of Emure, Gbonyi, and Ekiti East local government. I am from that citadel of learning, Ekiti State. Mr. Speaker, I have a petition here this morning from the petitioner Chief Oshadare Kaude of Umu Ekiti, Ekiti State, with his contact number. And the respondent to the petition is Pension Fund Administrator. I would ask the leave of the Speaker for me to tender the petition, Mr. Speaker.
Please go ahead. Any more petitions?
Thank you.
Yes, Oromu, go ahead.
Thank you, the People's Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Eugene Okechukwu Dibiagu. I represent the good people of Ahajebe Maugu Tauru West. I'm from Imo State. Mr. Speaker, I have a petition here written by TDX Associates and jointly signed by Honorable Barrister K.G. Nwosu and Barrister B.I. Onyekwere. The petition reads, on wanton arrest intimidation, and false accusation leveled against Wabo Eugene Obinna, Chief Mike Ezenwe, the CLO of Sterling Global Oil, and Mr. Ahaji Heji Chukwu, the Youth Secretary. Mr. Speaker, I seek the leave of the House to lay this petition. Thank you.
Please go ahead, Honorable. Any more petitions? All petitions are referred to the Committee on Public Petitions for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, the first motion of the day, which the mover deems urgent and urgent for your attention, is coming from Right Honorable Alhassan Dogwa. Honorable Dogwa, please can you rise and move your motion?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, my respected colleagues. I am Honorable Alhassan Ado Dogwa. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I rise this morning on a very sad note to crave the indulgence of Mr. Speaker and the leave of the House to allow me come on a matter of urgent public importance, which borders precisely on an unimaginable disaster that occurred in my federal constituency, Dogwa Tudunwada Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, it was about unprecedented rainstorm, windstorm that claimed lives and rendered so many households homeless. And on this note, Mr. Speaker, I feel the matter having involved lives and property is important enough to allow me take it immediately without coming on notice. And in the second leg of my motion, Mr. Speaker, I plead the leave of the House to allow me take it immediately. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I respectfully move. Thank you.
Thank you. Any seconder to the first leg? Honorable Femi.
Mr. Speaker, again, good morning. Femi Bamishle remains the name representing the very good people of Emure, Bonyi, and Ekiti East local government. I'm from that citadel of learning. I stand this morning to second the motion as rightly moved by my leader, Ado Dogwa. So second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. The second leg of the motion, Honorable Shitu Yusuf.
Yusuf Shitu Galambi, standing to second the motion, assembly moved by Honorable Ado Dogwa. Mr. Speaker, I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Honorable Dogwa, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, honorable members. Honorable Ado Dogwa remains my name, Mr. Speaker. And I would like to gladly add that I am the Sardaunan Kasar Hausa Metuta. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, today, like I said, I rise on a sad note and with a very heavy heart to move a motion of urgent public importance on the need for a quick intervention by the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, in Dogwa and Tudunwada federal constituencies of Kano State over the devastating windstorm that ravaged communities in the two local government areas, pursuant to Order 8, Rule 4 of the House Standing Orders. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the House notes that on May 23rd, 2025, a devastating wind and rainstorm ravaged the once peaceful and economically viable communities of Tagwaye, Bahawa, Rapindadi, Asada, Ragada, Rirue, and Dadinkowa in Dogwa local government area, as well as tudun wada cikin gari, Yaryasa, unguwar Manzo, unguwar Yero, Zainabi, Dariya, Shere, Yalwan Rugurugu, and Yalwan Bridge, and several other communities and settlements in Tudun Wada local government area, all located within my federal constituency, sir. Also note that the catastrophic damage caused by the tornado-like wind and rainstorm in the aforementioned communities was unprecedented, resulting in widespread destruction of lives, property, and the means of livelihood of the affected populations amounting to thousands and of millions of naira. Aware that lives were lost in this tragic incident, more than 2,000 houses, including private residences, schools, mosques, markets, prayer places, and other public buildings were either completely or partially destroyed. Critical infrastructures such as electricity and telecommunications installations were also not spared, leaving thousands of residents in these communities homeless. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the House realizes that the residents of these affected communities are in desperate need of aid from the government, philanthropic organizations, and well-meaning Nigerians to alleviate the impact of this unfortunate disaster, which took them by surprise. Agrees that if urgent action is not taken to assist the people of the affected communities, their means of livelihood will be lost, exacerbating the already challenging economic conditions in the nation and posing dire consequences for the affected population. Immediate provisions for shelter, building materials, household items, and financial assistance and medical care are critically needed, Mr. Speaker, my respected colleagues. The House therefore resolves to urge the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to conduct a post-disaster assessment of the affected communities as a matter of urgency. Urge NEMA to provide necessary relief materials and other essential assistance to the affected communities, and mandate the House Committee on Emergency and Disaster Preparedness to ensure compliance with these resolutions. Mr. Speaker, my respected colleagues, I so move. Thank you.
Any seconder? Hussein, I don't know what gives you the audacity to second a motion coming from the all-powerful Dogwa. Are you on the same page with him now?
Yes, sir.
For records?
Yes, sir.
And you are talking?
Yes.
And there is the possibility of you being on the same page, right?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So please go ahead and second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Hassan Sheikh Hussein, proudly member of Konkosia Extraction. I represent the good people of Nasarawa Federal Constituency. I'm from Kano State. I rise to second the motion, heavily moved by my senior colleague. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Emergency and Disaster Preparedness for further legislative action. The next motion is coming from, again, Kano State, this time from Honorable O.S. Yusuf Umar Detti Kura, member representing Kura/Madobi, Garumalan Federal Constituency of Kano State. If Honorable Detti is around, please can you rise and move your motion?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Yusuf Umar Detti, member representing the good people of Kura, Madobi, and Garumalan Federal Constituency, Kano State. I rise this morning to move a motion of urgent public importance. May I seek the leave of the House to suspend Order 8, Rule 6, to allow me take this motion. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Any seconder to the first leg of this motion? Honorable Idu? Is it Mark or Matthew? Sorry, Honorable Matthew. Honorable Matthew. You appear Idu Ahmad, you look like twins.
Thank you, our Honorable Speaker. My name is Honorable Attorney Matthew Wogu. I speak for the people of Abombise in Ngopara Federal Constituency. Our Speaker, I am from Imo State. I stand to second the motion ably moved by my friend from Kura. I say second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Idu, let me give you the honor to second the second leg, if you so wish.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Honorable Engineer Idu Emeka G. I represent the cosmopolitan and commercial cities of Onitsha North and Onitsha South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Anambra State. I rise to second the second leg of this motion, ably moved by my colleague. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those in support of this motion, Honorable Dogwa. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Detti, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Yusuf Detti. The motion, the need for urgent humanitarian intervention to the affected victims affected by heavy destruction caused by rainstorm in some towns and villages of Madobi local government area. Note that on Sunday, May 25, 2025, a heavy rainstorm swept through several towns and villages, including Kubarachi, Rikadawa, Jirgwai, Bode, Bagurau, Ungwardawa, Zanta, Yakun, Chikawa, Chunkoso, Gora, Alwali, Tamurna, and Tudunwada of Madobi local government area, causing widespread destruction of homes, farmland, and public infrastructures, including schools and places of worship. Worried that this natural disaster has plunged the affected victim into being homeless, helpless, disrupting schooling of their children, and subsequently adding up to the high number of out-of-school children. Concerned that the magnitude of the destruction caused by this ugly incident.
Honorable Kafila, please let's avoid the house, please.
The capacity of our local authorities.
Honorable Kafila, please.
In bringing succor to the affected victims, and there could be severe consequences, including outbreak of diseases, food security, increased poverty, and long-term displacement of vulnerable population if not urgently intervened. Resolved that the House should urge NEMA to immediately assess the level of damage in the affected towns and villages and deploy emergency relief materials and consumable goods to the victims. Second, call on the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs to provide logistical support for the resettlement and rehabilitation of the families. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Fage.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, my name is Barrister Muhammad Bello Shehu, representing the people of Fege Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Kano State. I rise to second the motion as ably moved by my brother, Yusuf Datukura. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Emergency Preparedness and Disaster Management for further legislative action. The next motion is coming from Honorable Aliyu Mustafa Abdullahi, member representing Ikara Kubau Federal Constituency of Kaduna State.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Aliyu Mustafa Abdullahi. Mr. Speaker, I represent the whole of Nigeria, starting from the good and peaceful people of Ikara, Kubo Federal Constituency in Kaduna State. Mr. Speaker, I'm coming under Order 8 Rule 5 to ask this Honorable House to suspend our rules to allow me to take this matter of urgent public importance on the need to investigate the alleged unethical practices in the disbursement of student loans and ensure compliance with the Student Loans Access to Higher Education Act 2024 and guidelines. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder to the first leg of the motion? Honorable Amos.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Amos Gwamna Magaji. I represent the peaceful people of Zangon Kataf Jaba Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, we are from Kaduna State. I rise to second the motion moved by my brother, Honorable Mustafa Aliyu. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is of it. Second leg of the motion. Honorable Bio.
Thank you, His Excellency, my dear honorable colleagues. Mohammed Umar Bio is my name. I speak for the people of Baruten and Kayaba Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from Kwara State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the second leg of the motion as moved by honorable colleague. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Please, honorable colleagues, I know we all took our breakfast. It's not a time for lunch for us to have any excuse. I put the question again. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Aye. Those against should say nay. That is of it. Honorable Aliyu, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Aliyu Mustafa Abdullahi. The subject matter of my motion is the need to investigate the alleged unethical practices in the disbursement of student loans and ensure compliance with the Student Loans Access to Higher Education Act 2024 and its guidelines. The House notes that the Student Loans Access to Higher Education Act 2024 was enacted to ensure transparent, timely, and equitable access to interest-free loans for all Nigerian students pursuing higher education. Also notes that significant progress has been made in the program so far, with over 500,000 applicants and the disbursement of over 54 billion to beneficiaries across the country. Aware that a recent report by the National Orientation Agency alleging collusion between certain tertiary institutions and financial institutions to delay, divert, or conceal disbursement of student loans under the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, the NEL Fund. Also aware that the National Orientation Agency and NEL Fund have uncovered that some institutions received loan disbursement but failed to notify beneficiaries or update financial records, which is a violation of the NEL Fund guidelines, raising concerns over transparency and accountability. Further aware that the Federal Ministry of Education has initiated a probe into alleged unauthorized deductions from student loans by some universities, describing the act as a gross violation of public trust and a breach of Student Loans Act 2024. Concerned about reports of mismanagement and lack of proper verification, including instances where tertiary institutions upload inflated school fees on the NEL Fund portal, cases of final year students receiving loans after graduation, and disbursement made to tertiary institutions even after students have fully paid their tuition fees to avoid delays. Worried that violations of NEL Fund guidelines by some institutions may have denied thousands of students their rightful access to loans and undermine the credibility of the loan scheme. Further worried that without robust oversight and enforcement, such violations may continue unchecked, undermining public confidence in the student loans program. The House resolves to urge NEL Fund to implement advanced IT solutions to enhance verification and streamline process within the system. Also urge NEL Fund to report to relevant authorities and sanction any institution found in violation of the Act or guidelines. Mandate all tertiary institutions to immediately refund students who paid their tuition fees before their NEL Fund loan disbursement. Finally, to further mandate the House Committee on Student Loans, Scholarships and Higher Education, Financing, Banking and other ancillary institutions, anti-corruption, university education to investigate the alleged diversion, non-disclosure and mismanagement of student loans disbursement, as well as non-compliance with the Student Loans Act 2024 and report back to the House within 4 weeks. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Bargaja.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker Dayan Zazau. Respected Honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Bargaja Mohammed, Member, President Isa and Assembly Constituency. I am from Sokoto State. I read the motion ably moved by Honorable Kubau. Mr. Speaker, I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committees on Students' Loans, Scholarship and Higher Education Financing, Banking and Auxiliary Matters, Anti-Corruption, University Education for further legislative action. The Leader of the House, please, can you move for the suspension of our rules to enable us to take one more additional motion?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Professor Julius Ihonvere, Owan Federal Constituency, Edo State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that we suspend relevant sections of our rules to enable us to take one more matter of urgent public importance. I so move.
The Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion that we do suspend relevant sections of our rule. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable colleagues, it's my pleasure to invite Honorable Chinda to move a motion consider urgent for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues. Kingsley Chinda. I represent Obiabo Federal Constituency. I'm an Equerry man from Rivers State. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, the matter before us this morning is one that has to do with the poor state of Nigerian missions abroad, particularly the United States of America, where we recently took a visit, the U.S.-Nigeria Friendship Group, and the sorry situation of our embassies and acts that are taking place there is one that calls for immediate and urgent attention. I would therefore want to urge you to see this as a matter that is of utmost importance to us as a nation and worthy of being taken on the floor of these green chambers this morning. I so move.
Any seconder to the first leg of the motion? Any seconder? Honorable Matima.
Thank you, our most revered speaker. Very distinguished honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Chief Mitema Obodo. I speak for and represent Ogbeya Federal Constituency of Bayelsa State. Mr. Speaker, I second the first leg of the motion. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Mashi, can you second the second leg?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker Ian Dazo. My dear respected honorable colleagues, my name is Alice Yusuf Majigiri. I represent Mashidusi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Katsina State. I rise to second the motion, ably moved by my former leader, Yes. I think I am right. I so scorn, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
You need a lot of explanations though, to make. Former in court, so we have taken note. Honorable colleagues, those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. Honorable, please proceed.
Thank you, my dear colleagues. I'm very grateful. The motion is on the urgent need to investigate alleged poor state of Nigerian missions abroad, particularly the United States of America. The House notes with utmost concern disturbing and embarrassing findings discovered at the recent oversight visit of the Nigerian United States of America Parliamentary Friendship Group to the Nigerian mission houses in the New York, Atlanta, and Washington, D.C. The House also notes that mutual diplomatic representation is very crucial for promoting understanding and international cooperation amongst various countries and projecting a positive image of Nigeria among Committee of Nations. The House further notes with dismay that the Nigerian Mission House in New York is reportedly indebted in rent payments and has left over 30 staff without salaries for over a year. And in Washington, D.C., the elevator in the Mission House was only repaired after a patriotic Nigerian intervened to restore it, an act which, while noble, underscores gross negligence and systematic dysfunction in the running of Nigerian foreign missions. The House is aware of the provisions of Section 19A, B, C, and E of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as altered, which deals with foreign policy objectives of Nigeria and underscores the key elements of promotion and protection of national interest, promotion of African integration and support for African unity, promotion of international cooperation for the consolidation of universal peace, and promotion of a just world economic order. The House is also aware that in furtherance of the above provisions, particularly the need for the promotion of international cooperation, Nigeria maintains several diplomatic missions globally, comprising embassies, high commissions, and consulates charged with representing Nigeria's interests, strengthening bilateral ties, facilitating consular services, and supporting Nigerian citizens in diaspora. The House is further aware that these foreign missions serve as a means of interface for Nigerian governments, foreign governments, and other international organizations that are strategic for advancing our diplomatic, economic, cultural, and technical aid policies, and that the United States hosts several important international organizations, including the United Nations. The House is cognizant of the fact that for 2 years running, Nigeria has failed to replace Nigerian permanent representative to the United Nations and Nigerian High Commissioner to the United Nations, who chairs the Committee on Peace. This dereliction, among other issues, have created a negative perception of Nigeria globally and will potentially harm our aspiration for a permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council. The House is also cognizant of the fact that in recent times, Nigerian missions have been beset with several challenges, such as poor state of the mission houses, poor state of infrastructure and facilities, inability to pay staff salaries, ineffective diplomatic participation, and neglect of strategic foreign policy engagements, amongst others. The House is disturbed that despite receiving yearly budgetary allocations appropriated for their smooth operations, including running costs, maintenance of facilities, and staff welfare, the dwindling value of the Naira has made seem very inadequate, and the missions are therefore unable to meet the obligations, especially in the United States of America. The House is perturbed that Nigeria's international image is severely undermined by such appalling neglect, mismanagement, and administrative decay in key diplomatic outposts, especially in the United States, where Nigeria maintains strategic interests and aspirations, including her long-standing quest for a permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council. The House is concerned that there is an urgent need for this House, the legislature, to investigate the state of affairs in the United States missions with a view to ascertaining the true situation of things and condition thereof. The House is worried that unless very urgent and pragmatic steps are immediately taken to investigate and address these issues, the country may lose her respect in the eyes of our citizens and may, in the long run, plunge the country to ridicule irrelevance amongst global actors. The House is therefore called upon most humbly to resolve as follows. Urge the federal government to immediately appoint the Nigerian permanent representative at the United Nations and High Commissioner for the United States of America. Further urge the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Office of Accountant General of Nigeria to urgently intervene in the situation in the United States mission and save the mission and other affected missions from immediate ridicule, embarrassment, and operational deficiencies. Mandate the Committee on Foreign Affairs and the Nigerian-USA Friendship Group to investigate the administrative, financial, and infrastructural conditions of Nigerian missions in New York, Atlanta, and Washington, D.C. Ascertain the causes of salary arrears, budgetary shortfalls, and mismanagement of allocated funds. Propose long-term recommendations to restore efficiency, professionalism, and dignity in Nigeria's foreign service operations, and report back to the House within 4 weeks for further legislative action. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I so move.
Any seconder?
Amendment.
Let's get a seconder first.
Amendment.
Right, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Barrister Harrison Anozie Wadike. I am a native of Isu clan from Imo State, and I represent the good people of Isu, Njaba, Nkwere, Wangele Federal Constituency. I arise this afternoon, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, to second the motion ably moved by my senior colleague, the minority leader of the House. I so second. If I may make a further comment, Mr. Speaker.
No, you are going on beat.
Okay.
That's what we identify you to do. So if you want to make an amendment, you have to also raise your hands up again and be recognized for that.
Okay, it's not an
but
amendment.
But there is already
Mr.
somebody who is moving for an amendment. Who is that person? Or are you the same person?
I'm here.
Who is
Mr.
the
Speaker,
person trying
I'm
to
here.
move for an amendment?
I'm here, sir.
Okay, please go ahead.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Salis Yusuf Majigiri. I represent Mashidus Ifere constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from Katsina State. While appreciating the mover of the motion, I wish to propose an amendment in FREA number 3.1. Mr. Speaker, out of 109 missions, we have almost 80 to 90% of the missions are facing similar problem. So I would wish to add that Nigerian missions in New York, Atlanta, and Washington, D.C., and all the missions.
I think you will water down the motion, but it's up to the members if they think that a motion that is made in specific for one country should include several other missions as one motion, because the capacity of the government to be able to do all those together will be difficult at this material time. But it's up to us to decide whether we should just consider this as one single motion or add other missions together under this particular motion. So, any seconder?
Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, I wish to step it down.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more amendments? No more amendments, right? Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is of it. This motion is referred to the Committees on Foreign Affairs and the Nigerian United States of America Friendship Group for further legislative action. Honorable Mukhtar Betera, I'm handing over my junior brother to you, and I need results within 1 week. I consider that it's a very close understanding between the two of you. I need result within 1 week. Is it guaranteed? Thank you. Honorable colleagues, the first business of the day is presentation of 14 bills. I now invite the clerk to read their short titles.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. Federal Medical Centers Act Amendment Bill 2025, first reading. National Technology Hub and Innovation Ecosystem Bill 2025, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, sixth alteration Bill 2025, first reading. Workplace Anti-Bribery and Integrity Establishment Bill 2025, first reading. Federal Vocational and Skills Acquisition College or BBA Zena, Imo State Establishment Bill 2025, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, sixth alteration Bill 2025, first reading. Firearms Amendment Bill 2025, first reading. Radiological and Radiation Medicine Establishment Bill 2025, first reading. Metallurgical and Materials Engineers and Scientists Registration Board of Nigeria Establishment Bill 2025, first reading. Federal Medical Centers Act Amendment Bill 2025, first reading. Tai Solarin Federal University of Education, Ijagun, Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State Establishment Bill 2025, first reading. National Commission for Rehabilitation Act Amendment Bill 2025, first reading. Federal Export Processing Zone Apoga Nike Establishment Bill 2025, first reading. Federal Medical Centers Act Amendment Bill 2025, first reading.
Honorable colleagues, the second business of the day is presentation of report of the Committee on Federal Capital Territory on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account the total sum of 1,814,773,708,392 naira only, of which the sum of 150,353,906,168 naira only is for personnel cost, and 352,029,677,448 naira only is for overhead cost, while the balance of 1,311,690,124,776 naira only is for capital projects. For the service of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, for the financial year commencing from 1st January and ending on 31st December 2025, standing in the name of Honorable Mukhtar Aliyu Betera. Honorable members will recall that the bill was referred to the committee on Tuesday, 20th May 2025. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable Betera is invited to present the report.
Right Honorable Speaker, right Honorable colleagues, my name is Mukhtar Betera Liu. I represent the good people of Biu, Bayo, Kwayakusarshani from Borno State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, that this House do receive the report of the Committee on Federal Capital Territory on a bill for an act to authorize the issue of the Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account, the sum of 1,840,073,708,392 naira only, of which 150,353,960,168 naira only is for personal costs, and the sum of 352,29,670,448 naira only is for overhead costs. While
Deputy Leader, please let us dissolve that mini conference. Your attention is needed on your seat, Deputy Leader.
While the balance of 1,311,692,124,676 naira only is for capital projects for the service of the Federal Capital Territory Abuja for the year ending 1st January and ending 31st December 2025, as referred to the committee. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Is the committee's deputy chairman around? Please, can you second?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Emeka Chinedu. I represent the people of Ahia Zone Business Federal Constituency. I rise to second this motion, ably moved by my chairman. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Chair, please proceed and lay your report. The third business of the day is presentation of 4 reports of the Conference Committee standing in the name of Honorable James Abiodun Faleke. Honorable Faleke is invited to present the report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Dear honorable colleagues, I am James Abiodun Faleke. I represent Ikeja Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House do receive the report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to provide for the assessment, collection of, and accounting for revenue accruing to the Federation, federal, states, and local governments, prescribe the powers and functions of tax authorities and for related matters. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House do receive the report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to repeal the Federal Inland Revenue Service Establishment Act number 13, 2007, and enact the Nigerian Revenue Service Establishment Bill to establish the Nigerian Revenue Service, charged with the powers of assessment, collection of, and accounting for revenue accruable to the government of the Federation and for related matters. I also move that the House do receive the report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to establish Joint Revenue Board, the Tax Appeal Tribunal, and the Office of the Tax Ombudsman for the harmonization, coordination, and settlement of disputes arising from revenue administration in Nigeria and for related matters. Finally, Mr. Speaker and honorable colleagues, I move that the House do receive the report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to repeal certain acts on taxation and consolidate the legal frameworks relating to taxation and enact the Nigerian Tax Act to provide for taxation of income, transactions, and instruments for related matters. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I so move.
Honorable Rashid.
Right Honorable Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Abdullahi Rashid, member representing the Kunafada Federal Constituency from Gombe State. I rise to second a motion that the House do receive the Conference Committee on the following tax reform bill. A bill for an act to provide for the assessment, collection of and accounting for revenue accruing to the Federation, federal, states, and local government, prescribe the powers and functions of tax authorities and for related matters. A bill for an act to repeal the Federal Inland Revenue Services Establishment Act number 13, 2007 and enact the Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill to establish Nigeria Revenue Service charged with powers of assessing, assessment, collection of, and accounting for revenue accruable to the government of the Federation and for related matters. A bill for an act to establish Joint Revenue Board, the Tax Appeal Tribunal, and the Office of the Tax Omnibus for the harmonization, coordination, and settlement of dispute arising from revenue administration in Nigeria and for related matters. And finally, a bill for an act to repeal certain acts of taxation and consolidate the legal frameworks relating to taxation and enact the Nigerian Tax Act to provide for taxation and income, transaction, and instrument for related matters. Mr. Speaker, I so second that the House do receive these reports. Thank you, sir.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Honorable Falake, please proceed and lay your reports. The fourth business of the day is presentation of 4 reports of the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions, standing in the name of Honorable Abiodun Isiaq Akilade. Honorable Akilade is invited to present the reports.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Abiodun Isiaq Akilade is my name. I represent Group Report of Iwa South, Ikpokia Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, colleagues, I'm from Ogun State. Honorable colleagues, Mr. Speaker, I rise to present 4 reports of Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Land Resources Technology, Rabba Shukutu State. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to present reports for the establishment of Federal College of Agriculture, Igbeti, Oyo State. Mr. Speaker, thirdly, I rise to present the report for the establishment of National Institute of Agricultural Research and Entrepreneurship, Owo-de-Yewa, Ogun State. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to present the report for the establishment of Federal College of Agriculture, Urogbi, Edo State, and for written matters, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I thereby move.
Any seconder? Honorable Dennis.
Thank you, Honorable Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues. My name is Honorable Dennis Nnamdi Agbo. I represent the highly enterprising people of Igboeze North Udenu Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Enugu State. I rise this morning to second the motion that the report of the Agric Institutions and Colleges Committee be received. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Honorable Akilade, please proceed and lay your report. The 5th business of the day is presentation of report of the Committee on Governmental Affairs on a bill for an act to repeal the National Lottery Act number 7 of 2005 and the National Lottery Amendment Act number 6 of 2017, and to enact the Central Gaming Bill to regulate the operation and business of all forms of online and remote gaming across the geographical boundaries of the federating units and beyond the borders of Nigeria, provide for the conduct of gaming in the Federal Capital Territory and enhance revenue generation for the Federation and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Nwachukwu Kanismo, honorable members recall that the matter was referred to the committee on Thursday, 13th February 2025. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable Kanis is invited to present the report. I want to believe that the chairman rules will take over this assignment because he's not around. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Francis Ejirogene Waive is my name. I represent the entire people of Ughelli North, Ughelli South, and Udu Federal Constituency. I'm from Delta State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, on behalf of the Committee on Governmental Affairs, I rise to move that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Governmental Affairs on a bill for an act to repeal the National Lottery Act No. 7 of 2007 and the National Lottery Amendment Act No. 6 of 2017, and to enact the Central Gaming Bill to regulate the operation and business of all forms of online and remote gaming across the geographical boundaries of the federating units and beyond the borders of Nigeria, provide for the conduct of gaming in the Federal Capital Territory, and enhance revenue generation for the Federation and for related matters, HB 2062. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Any seconder, please? Honorable Akin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I'm Honorable Akin Alabi. I represent the good people of Egbeda on our federal constituency. I'm the new Jagun Olubadan of Ibadan land. I'm from Oyo State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion ably moved by the Chairman, House Committee on Rules and Business to lay the report of the governmental affairs. Thank you.
Before I put the question, can you repeat that title because somebody is being intimidated by it for records?
I'm the newly minted Jagun Olubadan of Ibadan land, which makes me an automatic Olubadan in future. Thank you.
Do you have dominion over other federal constituencies?
Sorry, say that again, sir.
Do you have dominion?
Yes, yes. Over Honorable Agbowoni, where is he? Over Stanley Olajide, over Mr. Shadikpe, and maybe I can extend to Ikorodu.
Ikorodu, I think so. I think that would be the right thing. Thank you. God bless you. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Honorable, please proceed and lay your report. Honorable colleagues, the first to seventh orders of the day are all bills for third reading. So with your kind permission, I will read the seven together before I invite the House Leader to move for their consideration. The first order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to repeal the National Planning Commission Act, Cap N66, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, establish budget and national planning offices to ensure greater accountability and transparency in national planning and budget implementation and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. The second order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to regulate the planning, preparation, passage, and execution of the budget of the government of the Federation and for related matters, standing again in the name of the House Leader. The third order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to provide for the conservation and management of Nigeria's wildlife as required under the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, the Convention of Migratory Species of Wild Animals and associated agreements and protocols, and the Convention on Biological Diversity, to which Nigeria is a party, and for related matters, standing again in the name of the House Leader. The fourth order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, Act Cap A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to make provisions for establishment of Federal College of Agriculture and Forestry, FICA, Yobe State, and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. The fifth order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, Act Cap A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to make provisions for establishment of Federal College of Agriculture and Forestry, Okundi, Boyki Local Government Area, Cross River State, and for related matters. The sixth order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, Act Cap A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to make provisions for establishment of Federal Institute of Fisheries Research, Bununu Town, Tafawa Balewa, Bauchi State, and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. The seventh order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal Institute of Technology, Ipoba Oka, Edo State, charged with the responsibility, among other things, for the conduct of research into any branch of technological and management sciences courses and for related matters, standing again in the name of the House Leader. The House Leader is therefore called to move that the bills be read for the third time, and in his absence, the Chairman, Rules and Business, will move.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Francis Ejirogene Waiva is my name. I represent the entire people of Ughelli North, Ughelli South, and Uju. I rise to move that the following bills be read for the third time. HB 1302, HB 23, HB 1085, HB 1023, HB 146, HB 285, and HB 636. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Any seconder? Honorable Dixon.
My Speaker, honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Dixon Taki. I represent Makurdi Guma Federal Constituency. Honorable colleagues, I'm from Benue State. I rise this morning to second this motion, ably moved by my colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to repeal the National Planning Commission Act Cap N66, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004. Establish budget and national planning offices to ensure greater accountability and transparency in national planning and budget implementation and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to regulate the planning, preparation, passage, and execution of the budget of the government of the Federation and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act provide for the conservation and management of Nigeria's wildlife as required under the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, the Convention of Migratory Species of Wild Animals and associated agreements and protocols, and the Convention of Biological Diversity, to which Nigeria is a party, and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to make provision for the establishment of Federal College of Agriculture and Forestry, FICA, Yobe State, and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to make provision for the establishment of Federal College of Agriculture and Forestry, Okundi Boki, Local Government Area, Cross River State, and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to make provision for the establishment of Federal Institute of Fisheries Research, Bununu Town, Tafawa Balewa, Bauchi State, and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal Institute of Technology, Ikoba, Oka, Edo State, charged with the responsibility, among other things, for the conduct of research into any branch of technological and management sciences courses and for related matters. Third reading.
All the 7 bills are read for the 3rd time and passed. The 8th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Cap C23, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to provide for the number of judges of the Federal High Court to be no less than 100, or such other number as may be prescribed by an act of the National Assembly and for related matters. Standing in the name of the House Leader. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 6th May 2025. I'll now invite the House Leader to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Professor Julius Ihonvere, Owan Federal Constituency, Edo State. I rise to move that a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Cap C23, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to provide for the number of judges of the Federal High Court to be not less than 100, or such number as may be prescribed by an act of the National Assembly and for related matters, HB 2279 be read the second time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion for the second reading of the bill HB 2279. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. This is a straightforward bill. With your kind permission, we'll go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this bill go for second reading, say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Clerk.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Cap C23, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to provide for the number of judges of the Federal High Court to be not less than 100, or such other number as may be prescribed by an act of the National Assembly and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Constitutional Review for further legislative action. The 9th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to repeal the Nigerian Army University Bill Act 2020 and enact the Federal University Bill, Borno State, and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Mukhtar Aliyu Betara. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 28 November 2024, and now invite Honorable Betara to move that the bill be read a second time.
Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Mukhtar Betara Aliyu. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Borno State. Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, that the bill for an act to repeal the Nigerian Army University Bill, Act 2020, and enact the Federal University Bill, Borno State, for related matter, HB 1964. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Rais.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Honorable Rahis Abdul Qadir is my name, member representing Maiduguri Metropolitan Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion heavily moved by my honorable colleagues, Honorable Mukhtari Betra Aliyu. I so second, sir.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Betara, do you want to, or we should put the question? We should put the question. Honorable colleagues, is an amendment bill for a university which I believe is not controversial. At the level of public hearing, we can get details of the amendments and take appropriate decisions. So with your kind permission, we go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this bill be read for the second time, say aye. Those against, you say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to repeal the Nigerian Army University Bill Act 2020 and enact the Federal University Bill, Borno State, and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on University Education for further legislative action. The 10th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish Federal University Teaching Hospital, Gusau, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Abdul Malik Zubairu. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 28 February 2025. I now invite Honorable Zubairu to move that the bill be read a second time.
Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Abdul Malik Zubairu Bungudu, Zanna Bungudu, representing Bungudu Modu Federal Constituency of Zamfara State. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, a bill for an act to establish Federal University Teaching Hospital Gusau and for related matters HV 2081 to be read for the second time. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Any seconder? Honorable Larry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Respected colleagues, QS Ari Mohammed Abdul Mumin is my name. MNI QS, I represent good people of Nasarawa Total constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise this time to second the motion every move by a colleague. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Again, honorable colleagues, this is an establishment bill. Based on our tradition, we can just refer to the committee on, we will refer to the committee, and at the level of public hearing, details of these bills will be discussed. So with your kind permission, we go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this bill go for second reading, say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to establish Federal University Teaching Hospital Gusau and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on University Education for further legislative action. The 11th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish Chartered Institute of Mortgage Bankers and Brokers of Nigeria to regulate the practice of mortgage banking and mortgage brokerage in Nigeria and its practitioners and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Hassan Sheikh Hussein. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 14th November 2024. I now invite Honorable Hussein to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My respected colleagues, my name is Honorable Hassan Sheikh Hussein. I represent the good people of Nasarawa Federal Constituency. I'm from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, with your kind permission, I rise to lead the debate on the bill for the establishment of the Chartered Institute of Mortgage Bankers and Brokers of Nigeria. I so move.
Any seconder? Honorable Ajile Soro.
Thank you, His Excellency, Mr. Speaker, my fellow colleagues. My name is Honorable Taufik Abimbola Ajile Soro. I represent the fantastic people of Ife Federal Constituency in Osun State. I am from the source. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the bill as read by my fellow colleagues, I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This is an establishment bill, honorable colleagues, so with your kind permission, we'll go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this bill be read the second time, say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Mortgage Bankers and Brokers of Nigeria to regulate the practice of mortgage banking and mortgage brokerage in Nigeria and its practitioners and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Commerce for further legislative action. The 12th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Entrepreneurship and Skills Acquisition, Ilorin West, Kwara State, to provide full-time courses, teaching, instruction, and training in technology, applied sciences, arts, special sciences, humanities, and management, and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Tolani Shagaya. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 10th October 2023. I'll now invite Honorable Shagaya to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, once again I remain Honorable Mukhtar Tolani Shagaya, representing Nigerians, starting from Ilorin West, Asa, Federal Constituency of Kwara State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to lead the debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish the Federal College of Entrepreneurship and Skills Acquisition, Ilorin West, Kwara State, to provide full-time courses, teaching instructions, training in technology, applied science, arts, social sciences, humanities and management, and for other related matters. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Imeroga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I remain Honorable Boniface Emerengwa, representing the people of Ikwerema Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I'm from River State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion that the bill HB 554 be read for the second time. I say second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. This is an establishment bill as well, so please, with your kind permission, let's go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this bill be read the second time, say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to establish Federal College of Entrepreneurship and Skills Acquisition, Ilorin West, Kwara State, to provide full-time courses, teaching, instruction, and training in technology, applied sciences, arts, special sciences, humanities, and management, and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Alternative Education for further legislative action. The 13th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Armed Forces Act, Cap A20, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to ensure at least 15% of women representation in the enlistment, recruitment, and appointment of service personnel, require the armed forces to provide and maintain a gender-responsive compliance program in the enlistment, recruitment, training, provision of accommodation, operational engagements, provision of logistics, marital status, posting and discipline of service personnel, and ensure establishment of a unit to monitor and maintain records of gender-responsive compliance program and disaggregated data collation and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Kafilat Obara. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 17th October 2024. I now invite Honorable Obara to move that the bill be read a second time.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues. My name is Kafilat Ogbara. I represent Koshofe Federal Constituency, and I'm from Lagos State, the Center of Excellence. I rise this afternoon for and on behalf of my constituents to lead the debate on a bill for an act to amend the Armed Forces Act, Cap A20, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to ensure that at least 15% of women representation in the enlistment, recruitment, and appointment of service personnel required by the armed forces to provide and maintain a gender-responsive compliance program in enlisting, recruitment, training, provision of accommodation, operational engagements, provision of logistics, marital status, posting, and discipline of service personnel, and ensure that the establishment of a unit to monitor and maintain records of gender-responsive compliance program and disaggregated data collation, and for related matters. I so move, Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues. Thank you.
This is not a motion. What I will advise you, I discuss with you, allow us to get the consent of the House at the level of public hearing. We can make that kind of amendment. I think what you have raised is a very valid one, but maybe during discussions, if she wants to discuss further, we can proffer suggestion. Yeah. Let me see the men that are gender fair to Nigerian women. Who wants to second among the able men? If I don't see your name there, I know where you belong. You don't support the women's work, and the Nigerians are looking at you. Let me look this way. Including the leader of the House. I have not seen his hand up, but I know DS is already with us. The leader of the minority. Should we put on record that you are only for the male? So I didn't see your hand up. Are you gender friendly? Raise up your hand then. No but in this case. It's either you are with them or you are not with them. So please can you second this motion? You raise your hands up already.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, Kingsley Chinda, I rise to second the motion for the second reading of this female gender-sensitive bill, HB 1719. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Honorable colleagues, this is a straightforward bill. I know it has some defects, but I believe at the level of public hearing, all kind of amendments can be accommodated. So with your kind permission, let's get your consent to put this bill under question. So those in support of this bill go for second reading, say aye. Those against you say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to amend the Armed Forces Act Cap 820 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to ensure at least 15% of women representation in the enlistment, recruitment, and appointment of service personnel. Required the armed forces to provide and maintain a gender-responsive compliance program in the enlistment, recruitment, training, provision of accommodation, operational engagement, provision of logistics, marital status, posting and discipline of service personnel, and ensure establishment of a unit to monitor and maintain records of gender-responsive compliance program and disaggregated data collection and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Defense for further legislative action. The 14th order of the day is a motion on need to map out a reintegration plan for internally displaced persons in the country, standing in the name of Honorable Felix Uche Nweke. Honorable Nweke is invited to move the motion.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I am Nweke Felix Uche. I represent Eleme Tai and Oyibo Federal Constituency. I am from Rivers State. Right, Honorable Speaker, the need to map out a reintegration plan for entirely displaced persons in the country. The House observed that as of April 2024, the entirely displaced persons in Nigeria were estimated at about 3.3 million persons living in over 300 camps across Benue, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kogi, Nasarawa, Niger, Plateau, Sokoto, and Zamfara states.
Honorable Blessing, order.
The House notes that visitations by humanitarian organizations and government agencies to these camps are immersed with calls for improved welfare, feeding, security of the displaced persons in these over 300 camps. Also note that there has to be a plan on how to prepare these persons who have been forced out of their homes and
Honorable Daudu, you are distracting Chairman House Committee on Finance and other related matters.
They are used to psychologically, emotionally, and physically to reintegrate them back to a normal standard of living. Worried that if the displaced persons, most of whom are women, are children, are returned home after relative peace is restored in their communities without a structured reintegration plan that will be providing cash assistance, food and clothing, and psychological and emotional counseling and support. It would amount to insensitivity to their plight and at most abandonment. The House resolved to urge the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to conduct an assessment of the situation.
Honorable Daudu, you are distracting Chairman House Committee on Services.
Across the country and
kindly sit down, please.
A reintegration plan for IDPs. Also mandate the Committee on Emergency and Disaster Management to ensure compliance. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder, please? Comments? Let's get a seconder for Honorable Tersi. Any contribution, Leader of the House?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Professor Julius Ihonvere, Owan Federal Constituency. I think I want to thank my colleague for bringing up this motion, which is very, very important. I also believe that at this stage we need a holistic assessment of where these IDPs are, how many are still there, and what to do with them. But I do not want this responsibility to be just a federal government responsibility. If you take Borno State, Governor Zulum has been doing a lot on his own, taking them from IDP camps to their villages, to their homes, and resettling them. That's the state government. So it must be that the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, in collaboration with the relevant or respective state government should work hand in hand. Because when you resettle them, it is the state government, the state they live in, that has responsibility for ensuring their continued safety and engagement in skill acquisition and other.
So you want to move for an amendment, or you want to come under additional prayer?
Yes, sir. That would be fine.
So
an amendment that the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction and the National Emergency Management Agency, working with the relevant state governments, conduct an assessment of the situation of the IDPs across the country and draw up a reintegration plan for IDPs.
Any seconder to this amendment? Honorable Jaha.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I'm Jaha Baba, Chibok Dambo, Goza Federal Constituency. I rise to second a motion ably moved by the Leader of the House for relevant states to liaise with the ministry to carry out this function. I so second.
Those in support of this amendment should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. Those in support of this motion as amended should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. This motion is referred to the Committees on Emergency and Disaster Preparedness and State and Local Government Committee for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, I have two announcements which are all extremely sweet. Leader, when I say sweet, you always look up as if sweet means bitter to you. Eh? It has never been sweet. No, just try me, let me say it. If it is too sweet, you'll tell me. I can reduce the sweetness. The first announcement, honorable colleagues, is coming from Honorable Ngozi Okoli, member representing Aniocha Oshimili Federal Constituency of Delta State. And his message for us here is notification of resignation from the Labour Party and declaration for the All Progressive Congress. I read this later. I bring you the regards of the entire Aniocha Oshimili Federal Constituency, and I write to formally inform you and the Honorable House of my resignation from the Labour Party, under whose platform I was elected to represent the good people of Aniocha Oshimili Federal Constituency in this House. This decision comes after extensive consultations with my constituents, political associates, and concerned stakeholders. It reflects the desire of myself, my family, and my constituents to fully align ourselves and contribute our quota through the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President and the more agenda of Governor Sheriff Oborivori, which will bring development and empowerment to members of my constituency. Accordingly, I hereby declare my membership of the All Progressive Congress effective immediately. I thank the Labour Party for their support till this time and assure them of my continued respect. While the events of the future remains behind the doors of tomorrow, we do not know what they hold. I am assured that joining the APC will bring the benefit of the governance closer to my people. I remain committed to the constitutional responsibilities of my office and will continue to work diligently in the service of my constituents and the Nigerian people. Kindly accept the assurances of my highest regards. Yours faithfully, signed, Right Honorable Ngozi L. Okoli, member representing Aniocha Oshimili. Honorable Ngozi, are you there? Honorable colleagues, can we please appreciate this gentleman for joining the winning party, the greatest party in Africa. Congratulations. Please come and have a handshake with both the majority and the minority leadership. They are all eager to extend their handshake to you. Leader, am I saying the correct thing? Very correct, Abi. Both the majority and the minority. Thank you very much. No, of course, he will be on his way. Time will, will come when we will have no choice. If he has no any member, he has no choice but to come to the majority. Congratulations, my brother.
Bashir Birningwari. Bashir Birningwari. Kindly take your seat. You are distracting Honorable Bargaja, please.
Honorable colleagues, I also want to announce that further to the two forthcoming public holidays of Salah and June 12, the House, in collaboration with the Senate, will proceed on a working vacation today, after today's plenary, May 28, Wednesday, May 28, and resume on Tuesday, June 17th. But during this period, all committee meetings and oversight activities will continue. The reports from these activities will be presented to the House for resumption. So please take note, all oversight, all committee works, including constitutional review, will continue during this short break. Thank you very much.
Most distinguished colleagues, the 15th order of the day is a motion on urgent need to establish a mobile police MOPO camp and civilian JTF at Guba Ward, Bakori Local Government Area, Katsina State. Standing in the name of Honorable Abdullahi Balarabe Dabai. Honorable Dabai is invited to move the motion.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Honorable Abdullahi Balarabe Dabai, representing Bakuri Danja Federal Constituency. I am from Katsina State. Need to establish a mobile police MOPO camp and civilian JTF at Guga Ward, Bakuri Local Government Area of Katsina State. The House notes the increasing cases of insecurity in Guga and Kandalawa wards, Bakori Local Government Area of Katsina State, characterized by banditry, kidnappings, armed attacks, and general lawlessness. Also notes that Guga and Kandalawa wards, due to their vast, porous landscape, has become vulnerable to criminal elements exploiting the lack of robust security presence.
Jaha, do your job.
Aware that communities
do your job.
In and around Guga and Kandalawa were attacked.
Dabai should be heard in silence.
Honorable Abbas Adiogun from Oyo, kindly sit down, please. Abbas Adiogun.
17 persons
Honorable
were abducted.
Festus Adefiranye and his team.
2 killed and 5
Honorable
injured.
Cyril Hart. Honorable Cyril Hart. Kindly sit down, please.
While Ongola Galadima, Katilashi were arrested at Rinje village, 2 persons were abducted and cattle rustled. Disturbed that Dambawa village has been taken over by bandits in Ungor Mekalangu and Gidan Sarkin Noma, 19 people were abducted, while Sabolai, Kakumi, and Er Deparo, all in Guga ward, suffered relentless attacks leading to loss of lives, destruction of farmlands, internal displacement, and general socio-economic instability. Worried that lack of a mobile camp in Guga has hindered the response to distress calls and increased violence, necessitating the establishment of a dedicated camp. Also aware that Section 114(2)(b) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended provides that security and welfare of people shall be primary purpose of government, cognizant of the need to establish a dedicated Mopol camp in Guga ward to serve as a deterrent and intervention in the fight against insecurity, restoring peace and confidence of residents. The House resolves to urge the Inspector General of Police to establish a mobile police Mopol camp in Guga ward, backward local government area of Katsina State, and provide necessary funding and logistics support for the successful operation of the camp. 2, also urge the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, and other humanitarian bodies to assess the humanitarian situation and provide relief materials to the displaced persons in the affected communities. And thirdly, mandate the Committee on Police Affairs to interface with the Nigeria Police Force and relevant authorities to fast-track establishment and deployment of police personnel to the proposed Mopol camp. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dabai. Any seconder? Honorable Amobi.
Thank you, His Excellency, the People's Speaker, my honorable colleagues. My name remains Honorable Amobi Godwin Oga. I represent Nigerians through the good people of Isukwato and Umunochi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Abia State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon to second a motion ably moved by my friend and my colleague, Honorable Dapai. I so second. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think it's a straightforward motion. I just put the question. Those in support of this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to Committee on Police Affairs. Most distinguished colleagues, the 16th order of the day is a motion on the need to strengthen the security architecture to restore banking operations in Odo, Otin, Falodun, Boripe, Federal Constituency of Osun State. Standing in the name of Honorable Olushoji Abidemi Adetunji. Honorable Adetunji is invited to move the motion. Honorable, please. Honorable Adetunji, are you in the house? Honorable Adetunji is now here. Bill step down, motion step down by the leave of the House.
Honorable Awolu Katagum, you are distracting the minority leader, please.
The next order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of the bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Rivers State Government Statutory Revenue Fund of the Rivers State account, the total sum of 1,481 billion naira only, while 324 billion naira only is for infrastructure. The sum of 166 billion naira only is for health sector, and the sum of 5 billion naira only is for free drugs for treatment of malaria and other common ailments. The sum of 75 billion naira, 75 billion 600 million naira only is proposed for education sector, and the sum of 31 billion 400 million naira only is for agricultural projects for the year ending 31st December 2025. This is standing in the name of Honorable Julius Ihonvere. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 22nd May. And I invite Honorable Ihonvere to move that the bill be now read the second time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Professor Julius Ihonvere, representing the very, very good people of our federal constituency, Edo State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Rivers State Government Statutory Revenue Fund of the Rivers State account, the total sum of 1,481 billion naira, while the sum of 324 billion naira only is for infrastructure. The sum of 166 billion naira only is for health sector. The sum of 5 billion naira only is for free drugs for treatment of malaria and other common ailments. The sum of 75 billion 600 million naira only is proposed for education sector, and the sum of 31 billion 400 million naira only is for agriculture projects for the year ending 31st December 2025. HB 2397 be read a second time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Cyril Hart, second. Cyril Hart, second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Hart Cyril Godwin. I represent the fabulous people of Degema Boni Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Rivers State. I rise to second the motion that the bill be read the second time. I so second.
Thank you very much. Those in support of this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. This bill is referred to committee on ad hoc committee on Rivers State. Most distinguished colleagues, the 18th order of the day, which is recorded as 17th order of the day, because the last one we did was a supplemental procedure, is consideration of report of the Committee on Federal Capital Territory on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account, the total sum of 1,873,708,392 naira only, of which the sum of 150,353,906,168 naira only is for personnel costs, and the sum of 352,029,677,448 naira only is for overhead costs, while the balance of 1,311,690,124,776 naira only is for capital projects. For the service of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and for the financial year commencing from 1st January and ending on 31st December 2025. The members will recall that the report was laid on Wednesday, 28 May 2025, Honorable Mukhtar Aliyu Betara will move for his consideration. Chairman, FCT, the floor is yours.
Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Mukhtar Betara Aliyu. I'm from Borno State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, that this House do consider the report of the Committee of the Federal Capital Territory on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory account the sum of 1,814,773,708,392 naira only, of which the sum of 783,392 naira only, of which the sum of 150,353 naira 906,160 naira only is for personnel costs, and the sum of 352,029,677,448 naira only is for overhead costs, while the balance of 1,311,690,124,760 naira only is for capital project for the service year ending 1st January to the 31st December 2025, HB 2025. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Deputy Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Emeka Chinedu. I represent the hospitable people of Ahia Business the Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to second that the report on the FCT statutory report should be considered on the amount of 1,314,780,392 naira only. I so second.
Thank you very much. Chairman has moved the motion, seconded by the deputy. I just put the question. Those in support of this motion that this report be considered, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Leader, please move that the House do resolve into the Committee of Supply to consider this report. Leader, please. Leader, move that the House resolve into Committee of Supply to consider this report. Leader, move that the House do resolve into Committee of Supply to consider this report. Leader, move that the House do resolve into Committee of Supply to consider the report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move that the House will resolve to Committee of Supply in order to consider the report on the FCT budget very ably presented by the Chairman, Right Honorable Mukhtar Aliyu Betara. I so move.
Please, Minority Leader, second.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the House do resolve into Committee of Supply. I so second.
Those in support of the motion that the House do resolve into the Committee of Supply, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. The House hereby resolve into Committee of the Supply to consider the report presented by the Chairman of FCT Committee. Most distinguished colleagues, the House is now in Committee of Supply, where the Speaker sits as the Chairman of the Committee of Supply. Most distinguished colleagues, Honorable Mukhtar Ali Bachara will give us the synopsis of the report. The floor is yours, Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, you may recall that the House concluded the debate on the bill for the second reading on Tuesday, 20th May 2025, which was referred to our committee in accordance with Section 62, 80, 88, 89, and 299 of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In view of the aforementioned, the committee recommended the sum of 1,714,773,708,392 naira only as FCT's statutory budget for 2025 from the projected revenue, where the sum of 1,814,773,708,392 naira only, of which 150,353,960,168 naira only is for personnel costs, while the sum of 352,029,677,448 naira only is for overhead, while the balance of 1,311,690,124,776 naira only is for capital project for the service of the Federal Capital Territory Abuja for the financial year ending 1st January to the ending of 31st December 2025. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, in considering this budget of the time excellence, the two committees in the Senate and the House sat together to present this report to this House for consideration. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable colleagues, the question is that the provisions of this report with regards to recurrent non-debt expenditure as well as capital expenditure in the Part A and Part B of this particular proposal be made part of this particular bill. And so the first question is that the sum of 502,383,583,616 to stand part of the schedule becomes part of this bill. Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The second one is Part B, capital expenditure. Now the sum of 1,311,690,124,776 stand part of this schedule. Carried. The next is that the sum of 1,814,073,708,392 The next is that all the items mentioned in all the clauses between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the budget proposal be made part of this bill. Carried. Leader, please move that the House do revert to plenary to report progress.
The Speaker give a report to the House on the outcome.
Minority Leader, please.
Committee on Supply.
Thank you. Minority Leader.
Mr. Chairman, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion as moved by the House Leader. I so second.
Those in support of this motion that the House do revert to plenary to report progress, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. The House hereby reverts to plenary. The House resolves, the House reverts to plenary, and the Chairman is now sitting as the Speaker. Honorable colleagues, it is the Chairman's report that the House in Committee of Supply consider the report of the Committee on Federal Capital Territory on Committee on Federal Capital Territory on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account the total sum of 1,814,708,392 naira, only of which the sum of 150,353,906,168 naira only is for personnel costs, and the sum of 352,677,448 naira only is for overhead costs, while the balance of 1,311,690,124,776 naira only is for capital projects for the service of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, for the financial year commencing 1st January and ending 31st December 2025. Most distinguished colleagues, the House approved clauses 1 to 7, the schedules Part A and Part B, explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill. Leader, please move that the House do adopt the report of the Committee of Supply as a working instrument of the Parliament.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move that the House do adopt the report from the Committee of Supply as ably presented by the Speaker, who was then acting as Chairman, as a working instrument of Parliament. I so move.
Please, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the House do adopt the report as a working instrument of the House. I so second.
Those in support of the motion that this document be adopted as a working instrument of the Parliament, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. The document, as reported from the Committee of the Supply, is hereby adopted as a working instrument of the Parliament. Leader, please move that we suspend our relevant rules to have the third reading of this particular bill. Leader, please.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that we suspend our relevant rules in order to take this bill for third reading. I so move.
Minority Leader, please. Second.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion. I so second.
Those in support that we suspend our rules to have the third reading of this particular bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Please, Leader, move for the third reading of this bill.
Mr. Speaker, Owan Federal Constituency, Edo State, I rise to move that the House do consider HB 2305 for third reading. I so move.
Second, Minority Leader, please.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion for the third reading of the bill. I so second.
Those in support of this motion that the bill be read a third time, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account, the total sum of 1,814,073,708,392 naira only, of which the sum of 150,353,906,168 naira only is for personnel costs. The sum of 352,029,627,448 naira only is for overhead costs, while the balance of 1,311,692,124,776 naira only is for capital projects for the service of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and for the financial year commencing 1st January and ending 31st December 2025. Third reading.
Thank you. Bill read the third time and pass. Chairman FCT, you are not standing to greet the House. You should stand and take a bow. Thank us. Good. Most distinguished colleagues, the 18th order of the day, which is actually 19 because of the supplemental process that we had with the other bill, is the consideration of three bills, and they are standing in the name of Honorable Julius Ihomber, the House Leader. The Leader will move for their consideration.
9, HB 1508 and HB 119 be considered by the Committee of the Whole. I so move.
Minority Leader, please second.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I second the motion that the three bills be considered in the Committee of the Whole. I so second.
Thank you. Those in support of this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The 19th order, which is 20th order of the day, is the consideration of 4 reports of the Conference Committee, standing in the name of Honorable James Abiodun Faleke. Honorable Faleke will move for their consideration. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am James Abiodun Faleke. I represent Ikeja Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that the House do consider the report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to provide for the assessment, collection of, and accounting for revenue accruing to the Federation, federal, states, and local governments, prescribe the powers and functions of tax authority. Do consider the report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to repeal the Federal Inland Revenue Service Establishment Act number 13, 2007, and enact the Nigerian Revenue Service Establishment Bill to establish Nigerian Revenue Service, charged with the powers of revenue accruable to the government of the first. The House do consider the report of the Conference Committee on the bill for an act to establish the Joint Revenue Board, the Tax Appeal Tribunal, and the Office of the Tax Ombudsman for the harmonization, coordination, and settlement of disputes arising from revenue administration in Nigeria and for related matters and approve recommendations therein. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, finally, I move that the House do consider the report of the Conference on a bill for an act to repeal certain acts on taxation and consolidate the legal frameworks relating to taxation and enact the Nigerian Tax Act to provide for taxation
Chairman,
of
rules and
income,
business, please.
transactions and instruments, and for related matters and approve recommendations therein. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I so move.
Seconder, is the chairman, is the deputy chairman here? Oh, yeah.
Mr. Speaker, my name is Sada Soli, GBI representing GBI Kaita Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I stand to second the motion for consideration of 4 bills relating to tax reform bills. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of these motions say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The 20th order of the House is hereby stepped down by the leave of the House. Order of the day is consideration of 3 reports of the Committee on Federal Colleges of Education, standing in the name of Honorable Adamu Tanko. Honorable Tanko will move for their consideration. Honorable Tanko.
I rise to move the motion that the House do receive the Conference Committee report and the Committee on Federal Colleges of Education for a bill for an act to amend the National Teachers Institute Act, Cap N79, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, for the Institute to constitute the membership of the Council and provide Nigeria certificate in education, undergraduate, postgraduate, and research programs in teachers' education and for related matters, HB 879, and approve recommendations therein, laid on the 6th of Acts to amend the Federal College of Education Act, Cap F8 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to establish the Federal College of Education Technical, Uzepa, Luleha, Edo State, and for related matters, HB 1852, and approve recommendations therein, laid on the 15th of June 2025. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Federal Colleges of Education on a bill for an act to amend the Federal Colleges of Education Act, Cap F8 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to establish the Federal College of Education, Suleja, Niger State, and for related matters, HB 1803, and approve recommendations therein, laid on the 7th of March 2025. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Any seconder? Is a deputy here? In the absence, any second, any member of that committee here? Okay. Judiciary.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I remain Mahmoud Abdullahi. I represent Agi Lapai Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Niger State. I rise to second the motion ably moved by my brother. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Those in support of this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Deputy Chairman, Finance Committee, you are distracting your chairman.
Leader, please move that the House resolve into Committee of the Whole.
Professor Lillian, kindly take your seat. Professor Lillian.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House will resolve to Committee of the Whole in order to consider the reports listed in the order paper. I so move.
Thank you. Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the House do resolve into Committee of the Whole to consider the reports.
Thank you very much. Those in support of this motion that have been moved and seconded by the Majority Leader and the Minority Leader, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The House hereby resolves into Committee of the Whole to consider reports. Pension Reform Act 2014 and related matters. I invite the leader to give us 1 minute synopsis because we have a lot of things to consider today. Give us the synopsis of the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I beg the leave of the House to step this bill down. I have looked at the objectives and the application, and I'm not yet convinced I'm in a position to defend and present this appropriately.
Okay, bill step down for further legislative consultation by the leave of the House. Second bill to be considered is for an act to establish Auctioneers Registration Council of Nigeria for the purpose of regulating and monitoring the business and practice of auctioneers and auctioneering in Nigeria and for related matters. And I invite the leader again to give the synopsis of the bill. Leader, please, 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This bill is a timely one, purpose of regulating and monitoring the business and practice of auctioneers, which until now is not being done properly and is allowing quacks to take over the business, thereby creating more havoc than good. I recommend it to my colleagues that we should pass this bill. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. That was straight to the point. Honorable colleagues, the question is that clauses 1 to 49 and the long title of the bill be made part of this bill. Clause 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 41, 42 to 49, the long title. Distinguished colleagues, the third bill to be considered is that of an act to establish National Youth Development Commission and for related matters. Again, Honorable Leader of the House, give us the synopsis, as brief as before.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to plead with the House that this requires more legislative action to define the functions of this proposed commission different from the Ministry of Youth. So we must avoid unnecessary duplication. So I would want to step it down for further legislative consultation.
Thank you. HB 119, step down by the leave of the House. Most distinguished colleagues, the first report to be considered is that of Conference Committee on a bill for an act to provide for the assessment, collection of, and accounting for revenue accruing to the Federation. On behalf of the House, Honorable James Abiodun Faleke, to give us the synopsis of that report. The floor is yours, Honorable Faleke.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues. Once again, my name is James Abiodun Faleke. I represent Ikeja Federal Constituency. I am from Lagos State. Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, first let me give an executive summary. On 12 February 2025, the tax reform bills were referred to the House Committee on Finance for passage into law following the transmission to the National Assembly on 3rd October 2024 by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The House Committee on Finance thereafter proceeded on a week-long retreat for a thorough review of the bills and laid same on the 18th of March 2025. However, due to differences in the review outcome of both chambers of the National Assembly, a Harmonization Conference Committee was constituted with the responsibility to ensure a final review of the bills and harmonize any differences for onward transmission to the President for his assent. The Harmonization Committee Conference took place Thursday 22nd and Friday 23rd May 2025. Following exhaustive deliberations, the differences in the bills were unanimously resolved, and the chambers are therefore aligned on a single version of all four distinct bills considered during the conference. Some of the key differences resolved include the following: composition of the Service Governing Board. The committee agreed on the appointment of 6 executive directors, from the 6 geopolitical zones to be appointed by the President, subject to confirmation of the Senate, the service. Additional income tax exemption. The committee further agreed to grant additional income tax exemptions to certain business activities, such as agricultural businesses and some repatriated incomes, including exchange, respectively. Increase in the threshold of small companies. The committee resolved to amend the threshold of small companies by increasing the qualifying turnover from 50 million to 100 million and fixed assets value of not more than 250 million. This will aid the ease of doing business with minimal administrative burden to emerging companies. Taxation of virtual assets. The growing relevance of technology was recognized by the committee, which informed the need to appropriately tax digital and virtual assets, e.g. cryptocurrency, NFTs, to avoid Nigerians losing out on revenue from these transactions. Establishment of the State Internal Revenue Service. In exercise of the powers of the National Assembly to make laws in respect of income tax, further to the provisions of Item 59 of the Executive
Are you taking all of them at the same time?
Sorry? No, I'm just taking, before we go into the clause by clause.
Okay. Because the subject matters are different.
Yeah. But if I thought you want me to take the summary of each of them, which...
we just want the synopsis of first report.
Okay.
When we finish, you come second report.
Okay.
We'll do it like that until we finish the 4 reports.
All right.
And so it's taken that you have done the first report, which is to provide for assessment, collection, and accounting for revenue accruing to the Federation.
Okay.
The conference report. And so we'll handle that. Then the second one we're going to call it to do will be conference on bill for an act to repeal the federal inland revenue. That will be our second one.
Okay, Mr. Chairman.
So you've done the first one.
Talking about the Nigeria Tax Administration Bill.
Yeah.
There are 45 different differences. And the 45 were resolved. And if you want me to itemize how they were resolved, clause 3.
Not necessary.
Not necessary.
Because we are going to adopt your report.
Okay.
We have your report. Thank you very much for that. Most distinguished colleagues, the question is that the House adopt the report of the conference committee. Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. Administration bill. I ask the question again. The question is that the House do adopt the report of the conference committee on a bill for an act to provide for the assessment, collection of, and accounting for revenue accruing to the Federation, federal, state, and local government, prescribe the powers and function of tax authorities and for related matters. This is known as the Nigeria Tax Administration Bill. Those who support say aye. Those against say nay. The House hereby adopt this report of the conference committee. The second report to be considered is that of Conference Committee on a bill for an act to repeal the Federal Inland Revenue Service Establishment Act number 13, 2007, and enact the Nigerian Revenue Service Establishment Bill to establish Nigeria Revenue Service charged with the powers of assessment, collection of, and accounting for revenue accruable to the government of the Federation and for related matters. Honorable Faleke, the floor is yours again.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues. Under the Nigerian Revenue Service Bill, there were 12 differences, and the 12 differences were harmonized and agreed upon. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Thank you, Honorable Faleke. The question is that the House do adopt the report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to repeal the Federal Inland Revenue Service Establishment Act number 13, 2007, and enact the Nigerian Revenue Service Establishment Act 2025 to establish the Nigerian Revenue Service. Those in support say aye. The report to be considered is that of Conference Committee on a bill for an act to establish Joint Revenue Board. the Tax Appeal Tribunal and the Office of the Tax Ombudsman for the harmonization, coordination, and settlement of disputes arising from revenue administration in Nigeria and for related matters. Again, I invite the Chairman of Finance Committee and the Head of the Conference Committee on behalf of the House, Honorable Faleke, to give us a minute synopsis of this bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues. Under the Joint Revenue Board bill, there were 9 differences, and all the differences were harmonized and agreed upon by the Conference Committee.
Thank you, Chairman. Honorable colleagues, the question is that the House do adopt the report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to establish Joint Revenue Board, the Tax Appeal Tribunal, and the Revenue Administration in Nigeria, and for related matters. Those in support of this adoption say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Colleagues, the fourth report to be considered is that of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to repeal certain acts on taxation and consolidate the legal frameworks relating to taxation and enact the Nigerian Tax Act to provide for taxation of income, transactions, and instruments, and for related matters. Again, I invite Honorable Faleke to give us the synopsis of the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues. Under the Nigerian Tax Bill, there were 46 differences. The entire 46 differences were harmonized and agreed upon as contained in the reports. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Those in support that the reports of the Conference Committee on the Nigerian Tax Bill be adopted. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. I must make this comment that truly the National Assembly has shown a great support for the progress of this great country, from where we are to where we ought to be. This is one of the wheels that national growth, nation building, that we all had expected for a long time now will ride on to take Nigeria to prosperity, to progress. I must commend the effort of the National Assembly to disagree and agree up to this point, because I can assure you this is the last journey on this bill. From now, we are progressing forward. And I must thank Nigerians who supported their representatives. The advice from the governors, we appreciate them. The advice of other stakeholders, we appreciate them for seeing the reason, to move the economic life of this country forward. These are 4 bills that will position Nigeria more strategically when it comes to economic growth than any other bill. So Nigerians, congratulations to you. We are about to cruise into prosperity. Yes, Honorable Jha. He's not allowing to speak. Okay, maybe you speak next time when I climb up there. All right. Make it brief.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues. Actually, at the risk of sounding immodest, I want to use this opportunity, based on your comment, to commend the House under the leadership of Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin and you, Honorable Benjamin Okezi Kalu, for providing the required leadership for making this bill a success. because I know what actually transpired from day one to date, the pressure you have accommodated, the diplomatic approach you have employed to make this bill a reality from people like us. And he gave us the opportunity to air out our views about the position of Nigerians on this bill. And we thank you for that. And I equally want to thank our caucus leaders, especially Honorable Alassane Dogwa, Honorable Betara, Honorable Wase, Sada Soli Jibia, Frank Akbedi, and all other caucuses leaders.
Honorable
Igarwe from the southeast, for providing the required leadership too, because Nicholas Mutu for the southern part, they have contributed immensely, sir, in making this bill a reality. Before I sit down, I want to throw a warning to the people that are crossing the T's and dotting the I's in a clean-up process as part of our resolution. We have resolved that while cleaning these documents, if T is not crossed, as far as this bill is concerned, do not cross it. If I is not dotted, do not dot it. Because we have the content of what is passed, not only in the conference committee, but what was passed by the two chambers before we come to a conference committee level. Please and please, we beg you, you do the needful by transparent exactly what was passed to the principal officers for onward transmission to the executive for assent.
Thank you.
Sir, we have a resolution on this floor of the House that each and every page of a sensitive bill of this nature should be signed by the presiding officers before transmitting to the executive, because we had situations in the past where a bill was having a very good intention, and members have done the due diligence. Before you realize what is happening, before transmitting to the president, they will amend one or two things, and at the end of the day, the president will withhold assent because it was not the position of the House as well as that of the Senate. So we beg you, please, we have suffered a lot about this tax reform bill, and we don't want to go back. We have done a very good job.
Chairman of that committee, and even more, you have really persevered through diplomacy, you have employed every leadership tool to make sure that Nigeria received the best. And we are proud of you, to be honest. From the leadership, we are proud of you. And also the leader of the House and the minority leaders. The truth is that on the part of the leadership of the majority, the leader also played major role in making sure that stabilization was there in the mind of those who were agitating and those who were supporting to get more information, to support with the right information. The minority also was very conscious of making sure that the bill will not, be only for the people, a certain group of people, but for all persons in Nigeria, for the benefit of all. It is this balanced opinion that has taken on. So this is congratulations to you, congratulations to Nigerians, and I agree with Honorable Jaha that this bill, that copy presented here by the chairman, is a copy the presiding officers would like to see as it progresses to Mr. President. Nothing should be added to it. Nothing should be removed. We are happy with what we have adopted. Thank you very much. Honorable colleagues, the fifth report to be considered is that of Committee on Basic Education and Services on the bill. And the sixth report to be considered is that of the Committee on Federal Colleges of Education and a bill for an act to amend the National Teachers Institute Act, Cap N 79, Laws of Federation of Nigeria 2004, for the institute to constitute the membership of the council and provide Nigerian certificate in education, undergraduate, postgraduate, and research programs in teachers' education and for related matters. Honorable Tanko is invited to give us 1 minute synopsis of this report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is an amendment bill with the objective of redefining the membership of the National Teachers Institute Council, establishing various academic programs, a public hearing, An engagement with the stakeholders has been held and the report has been considered.
Thank you very much. The question is that clauses 1 to 6, explanatory memorandum, and the long title be made part of this. Clause 1 to 6, explanatory memorandum, the long title of the bill. The 7th report, the 6th report is that of Committee of the Federal College of Education on the Bill for an Act to amend National Teachers Institute. No, that's the 7th report. 7th report is to be considered is that of the Federal College of Education on the Bill for an Act to amend the Federal College of Education Act, Cap F8 Law of Federation of Nigeria to establish Federal College of Education, Technical, Uzeba, Luleha, Edo State, and for related matters. Honorable Tanko, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is also an amendment bill with the objective of establishing Federal College of Education Technical
Thank you.
Uzeba.
Thank you very much. Honorable colleagues, the question is that clauses 1 to 3, schedules, explanatory memorandum, and long title of the bill be made part of this act. Clause 1 to 3, schedules, explanatory memorandum, long title of the bill. Most distinguished colleagues, the 8th report to be considered is that of the Committee on Federal College of Education on the bill for an act to amend the Federal College of Education Act, Cap F8, Laws of Federation of Nigeria 2004 to establish Federal College of Education, Suleja, Niger State, for related matters. Honorable Tanko, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's also an amendment bill, and the engagement has been done with
Thank you very much. Honorable colleagues, the question is that clauses 1 to 3, explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill be made part of this act.
From the Committee of the Whole, I so move.
Thank you, Leader. Please, Acting Minority Leader, can you second? I know you are very lonely in that level.
Right Honorable Chairman, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion as moved by the House Leader that the House reverts back to plenary. I so second.
Thank you. Those in support that the House revert to plenary to report progress, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. The House hereby reverts to plenary.
Hyperdeck.
That is at the end. Most distinguished colleagues, it is the chairman's report of the Committee of the Whole on a bill for an act to establish Nigerian Police Force Pension Board. This report was the report of the chairman from the Committee of the Whole that the Committee of the Whole considered the business and practice of auctioneers and ushering in Nigeria and for related matters, and approved clauses 1 to 49 and the long title of the bill. Chairman's report from the Committee of the Whole is that the report on the bill for an act to establish National Youth Development Commission and for related matters was deferred for consideration based on the need for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, it is the Chairman's report that the House and the Committee of the Whole consider the report of the Conference Committee on the bill for an act to provide for the assessment, collection of an accounting for revenue accruing to the Federation, federal, states, and local government, prescribe the powers and functions of tax authorities for related matters, and adopted the report of the Conference Committee. Most distinguished colleagues, the House and Committee of the Whole consider the report of the Conference Committee on the bill for an act to repeal the Federal Inland Revenue Service Establishment Act No. 13, 2007, and enact the Nigerian Revenue Service Establishment Bill to establish Nigerian Revenue Service charged with powers of assessment, collection of, and accounting for revenue accruable to the government of the Federation and for related matters, and adopted the report of the Conference Committee. The Chairman's report from the Committee of the Whole that the House and Committee of the Whole consider the report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to establish Joint Revenue Board, the Tax Appeal Tribunal, and the Office of the Tax Ombud for for the harmonization, coordination, and settlement of disputes arising from the revenue administration in Nigeria and related matters, and adopted the report of the conference committee. Most respected colleagues, it is the chairman's report that the House and Committee of the Whole consider the report of the conference committee on a bill for an act to repeal certain acts on taxation and consolidate the legal framework related to the committee's reports from the Committee of the Whole, that the Committee of the Whole consider the reports on the Committee on Basic Education and Services, the bill for an act to establish gifted and talented centers in the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria, and step it down for further legislative action. Most distinguished colleagues, the House and Committee of the Whole consider the report of the Committee on Federal Colleges of Education on the bill for an act to amend the National Teachers Institute Act Cap N79 laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 for the institute to constitute the membership of the Council and provide Nigeria a certificate in education, undergraduate, postgraduate, and research programs in teachers' education and for related matters, and approve clauses 1 to 6, explanatory memorandum, Committee of the Whole. And it reads that the House consider the report of the Committee on Federal Colleges of Education and the bill for an act to amend the Federal Colleges of Education Act Cap F8, laws of Federation of Nigeria 2004 to establish Federal College of Education, Suleja, Niger State, and for related matters, and approve clauses 1 to 3, the schedules, explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill. Leader, please move that the House do adopt the report of the Committee of the Whole as a working instrument of the Parliament.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move that the House do adopt the report from the Committee of the Whole as ably rendered by the Speaker, then acting as chairman, as working instruments of this House.
Thank you, Leader. Minority Leader, please kindly second.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the House do adopt the report of the Committee of the Whole as a working instrument. I so second.
Thank you, Minority Leader. Those in support of this motion that the report from the Committee of the Whole be adopted as a working instrument of the Parliament, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. The report of the Committee of the Whole is hereby adopted as a working instrument of the legislature. I have 2 announcements to make before I call for the adjournment of this House. The first one is the Committee on Rivers State Oversight meeting tomorrow, Thursday, May 29. Time is 2 p.m. and venue is House Leaders Conference Room. Please, you should be here. The announcer is Dr. Yahya Danzaria, the Clerk of the House. The second announcement is coming from my humble self as the Chairman of the Committee on Constitution Review. This is to inform all members of the House of Representative Committee on Constitution Review that the meeting of the committee has been scheduled to hold today, and the time is 3 p.m. Meeting room is 447, House of Representative. We have a lot to discuss, so endeavor to be there. Leader, based on the announcement made by the Speaker of the House that we have 2 important events, the June 12 and our brothers who need to celebrate their religious festival, the Salah, that you should move that the House do adjourn sitting till the 17th. Activate the document that we just passed for him, and also for the Chairman Finance to carry the conference reports as a legislative instrument and progress it. So we need to adopt the vote and proceedings today, not to wait till the 17th. So, Leader, please move that we suspend our relevant rules to adopt the vote and proceedings of today's plenary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move that we suspend relevant rules in order to adopt the votes and proceedings of today's plenary. I so move.
Minority Leader, are you in support?
Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the motion that in the public interest.
If you don't support, you know what will happen to you.
And adopt our vote and proceedings. I so second.
Thank you, Minority Leader. I put the question, those in support of the motion that be moved by the Leader of the House that will suspend our extant rules to enable us adopt the votes and proceedings of today, say aye. Those against say nay. They are not here. The ayes have it. The vote and proceedings of today's plenary is hereby adopted as a working instrument of the legislature. Leader, please move that we adjourn till 17th of June.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I happily move that the House do adjourn plenary to Tuesday, the 17th of June, 2025. I so move.
Thank you. Minority Leader, I want to stay, I want to go. If you want to go, second, please.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion that we do adjourn only plenary while other parliamentary responsibilities continue until the 17th of June. I so second.
Yes, that is what the announcement said, that all what we are adjourning is plenary. Committee work continues. Oversight function continues. So we are not going on holidays. We are just adjourning plenary to work in our committee level. Those in support of this motion for adjournment till the 17th of June, say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay.
Nay.
The nays will stay and the ayes will go. House is hereby adjourned to 17 June. Same time, same place.